Hey y'all, what's up? What's going on? My name is Mizzle. You watching my channel Mizzle 14, and I'm here doing a review of Family or Fiance, the episode of LaShonda and Dre. Now, before I start, I just want to say that I won't have be putting clips on YouTube. So what I will do from now on, if I can, the clips that have been shown, depending on when I put the videos up, I will put the clips down on my comment section so you can watch the clips so you get an understanding what some of the scenes were on the show. It won't be the whole episode, but it'll be some of the clips, alright? So you can have a little feedback and you can have comments and you can go from there, alright? So let's jump right into it. I'm going to take a long time. Alright, so Dre and LaShonda been engaged for 10 months. We don't know how long they've been together. I mean, I don't think they really stated how long they've been together, but they've been engaged for 10 months. He's been a great person for her daughters because she had two daughters before their relationship, and she would say, I want to say my daughters, but she said their daughters. So I like that she includes him into it, and he been great. They personalities do balance each other out. He is more a calm peacemaker type of person. Like, he's very calm, he's peacemaker. He don't go over the top, he don't flip out, he trying to see things, he trying to be a middle person, even though sometimes being a peacemaker not always means that you always got to stay in the middle. Sometimes you have to take a stand and let people know how things goes. And that will probably be his little challenges. His challenge will be in this episode, because at some points where you need to take a stand, you have to take a stand. And you just can't be always in the middle, because it will hurt everyone around you. And she is more, she flips out a lot. She has, I don't say she has emotional anger, but a lot of her things does stem from childhood. And it was brought up through the episode that a lot of her hostility towards men and stuff like that, and how she flips out and how she outbursts, it stems from her not being safe when she was a child, and it's those growing up. So like Iyanla said, something in her childhood just affects, not Iyanla said, Tracy, but you know, Iyanla Fits My Life, another show that I watch, and she said a lot of people anger and stuff like that comes from what they experienced in their childhood. So that, and brought up to now, and how she handled conflicts is usually stems from how she handled conflict when she was younger, and maybe she had no voice and no control, and now she has the voice and she has the temper, so she had to work on that. They both have things to work on, as well as together and individually. Him to be more vocal in the aspects of take a stand and say things and have my back, have your wife back, or let your best friend know what this is not cool. And she needs to be more, stop being so flippant and handle conflict in a different way. Sit down and talk to someone. You don't have to go up here every time you talk to someone, in every issue, in every situation. So those are things that they need to both work on. Now, I feel that this episode, people didn't really had too much issues, but I did see the time and dynamics of the family and things that I want to address. Alright? His side of the family, he came with, I forget. If y'all, this is the first time watching Family Fiance and y'all don't know the dynamic, they come from the house for 3 days. They getting married soon, and they want to find out what issues they have with each other. They do 3 days, they do activities, they do check-in with Tracy, and at the end of the 3 days, they decide, the family decides if they want to give their blessings or not to the couple that's on the show. Sometimes they get all yeses, sometimes they get mixed some yes and no's, they get all no's, or whatever. And at the end of the day, after the blessings, they decide whether they will continue to be married or they just go choose their family and just end the engagement. So that's it. Alright, so we find out he's a celebrity DJ. So that's like a layer to her. Like, she sometimes, like, I had to get used to him being around and traveling with celebrities and DJing, and a bunch of females could be around, groupies and stuff. And I say, yes, I mean, understand it could be a little issue about that, but people don't tend to flock to DJs as much. They flock to the artists themselves. So you don't have to worry too much about it, but I understand that being around celebrities is temptations, there's a lot of women and stuff. And yeah, you will have to be a level of trust in being with someone's a DJ, but I don't think that would be a big issue in a relationship. Which it didn't come off as too much of a big issue in a relationship compared to other stuff I will address. Now, they did mention about adopting he adopting his two girls, and that's something that she really wants to happen, and she adores that happen because he's been a great father figure to the girls. Now I can assume that the father of the kids is not around as much. And she said that the fathers of the kids is not around as much. I don't know, it's one father, two fathers. I think it's one father, and she had two kids by him. And but that the father is not around. So Dre has been the most consistent father figure in the kid's life. So adopting them is a big step. If something happens to the mother, he will have some legal control and say and what they do with the kids instead of the father. Everything, even though he will still be a part of life, but he still has some legal say. Because once something happens, it goes to the Lexa legal guardianship. This is the father. So I think that that's very commendable because not a lot of the men don't want to step up and raise people kids. You have other men raise other kids, people kids, and it's sad that you create this beautiful creation and then you not there for none of the lives. You just let them grow up, none of the lives, not having a father in life, and it's sometimes it can be damaging, sometimes not. Like I grew up without no father. I mean, I met him, I know who he is, but I grew up without having one, and I'm okay. I don't need no relationship right now. I'm 33 years old. I don't need no relationship with anyone right now. It's me, my mom, my brothers, my niece's nephew, the family I created, my nieces, all that stuff. And my other side of the family, my sisters, we all good. So I'm loved. And that's what I like. So I'm not going to harbor over that one little aspect because it is what it is. My mom is my mother's father, and that's great. Move on from that. So having men who step in and take care as the father figure for girls, that's commendable. But I feel like why the family in this episode was so adamant, is so concerned about the adoption, which I understand. But I'm trying to understand what is the relationship with her and the kid's father that make y'all feel so leery about the adoption, than him adopting the kids. Because at the end of the day, you will be excited for him adopting someone if he's there, being there for the kids. But yes, I understand that it's a level of that father because he has rights and make sure involved. And I don't think they are alienating him away from his responsibility for the kids. But if he's not there, so how much alienation that she's doing? How much alienating that she's doing if he's technically not there in the first place? So that's the issue. So that's the thing. I'm like, okay, if the father's not really there, so how much is this going to be an issue? But in legality, yes, you will have to go the right steps and the protocols, and I think you got to have the blessings or whatever it is, or all that stuff to adopt the kids legally. So I'm sure they have to think about that through thoroughly before they take that step. And it was her idea to bring it up, the adoption. So, and he loved the kids, and he wants to do that, and they can tell he really loves it. All right. So they do activities, and LaShonda tasked to do fears in the hat. They put the fears in the hat, and they put that, and she answered open and honestly her fears. Dre, he has to do a 5-year plan with the family. Now I feel like the activities wasn't thoroughly inputted, was thoroughly thrown out. The episode, some issues was brought up, but it wasn't like fully into like past episode. We see a lot of things that happened, a lot of things that thrown into like the last week, where she had to do her finance breakdown and her week plan. It was like a more time in the scenes. I feel like the scenes of the activity wasn't given that much time, in my opinion. But her side of the family, she bringing her father, Steve, and her two sisters, Danielle and Sumitra. And his side of the family, he brought his mother, Monica, his best friend, Brandon, and his sister, Kendall. Now, when they came in, everybody was hugged, giggling, and having a good time. They introduced themselves, and they hugged it out, everything. And so now the first step is the family meeting. Kendall, she said she don't want LaShonda hurt her brother. I mean, relationships go ups and down. As long as she's not intentionally trying to hurt him and try to purposely make him hurt and make him sad, that is fine. Make him sad and everything, but relationships always go up and down. I don't understand what's a hurt, but hurt comes in a relationship. When they say, "Oh, don't hurt my brother," it's not. It's like I'm not. You can't promise that you won't hurt him, but you can promise to let them know that I'm gonna be there and love your person unconditionally and do the best as I can to make them happy. That's what you could do. Second, Danielle, she said it needs to be conflict and how to get past the conflict and how you do a positive way. Danielle was mostly for her sister, give God to her sister, saying that how you handle conflict, we need to have a positive way how you handle conflict because you're always flipping out the handle every time it's an issue. And we need to have that settled, and we need to have that fixed and worked on. So in the future, for the future, so if you get married with someone, you got to handle things because marriage is not going to be up, and those going to be not going to be 100% glorification. It's going to be some problems, and how you handle conflict now is going to be how you will handle conflict in your marriage, and that will be an issue. So a positivity in a mature way to handling conflict will be the best approach for LaShonda to do and practice that now before they step in the aisle because they're getting married in 3 weeks. Okay. Which is stems for how she handled conflict when she's growing up. So if she always was arguing and fighting and stuff like that with her parents, or her parents, which is usually the first step of how she handled conflict in adult situation with other people, then that needs to be nipped in the bud and that needs to be worked on. And it clearly her relationship with her father, you could tell how and why she is the way she is because they always butt heads. And they said that LaShonda is just like her father and her mother in some ways. She mixes both of them, and that's a toxic trait to have. So her father, Steve, and her, they always bump heads. They always bump heads. It's always true for them. They always bump heads. So since she had a conflict by always arguing, that's how she dealt with by getting her point across by always being explosive and argumentative and everything instead of hitting people out and cutting them off and don't want to hear them and get her points across because she feel like she needs to get that out and damn everybody else feelings about it. That could be an issue if you don't will that in. So that was that. And Sumitra will talk about his lifestyle as a DJ and how that will affect the relationship. I don't really think his lifestyle as a DJ will be a big factor, which it wasn't because they really focused on too much about being him a DJ. It's just that he been in the club scene, he just DJs for celebrities, so and traveling a lot. So trusting him with or not to cheat will probably be a factor, which is fine. Yes, he's around celebrities, he's around a lot of groupies, everything. But him as a DJ is DJing. He's not a manager, not a producer, not a right hand man of a celebrity and stuff like that. So he just play music. So I don't know how much of that will be too much of determination, but you can't knock that out. So I understand that as well. But I do understand that this wasn't a big issue in this episode. And they talk about adoption. I already explained that already. So, and get the father blessings. Of course, they will have to get the father blessing if the adoption is going to happen. But I understand why his reasons to adopt the kids if the father's not around and he would have legal guardianship for the kids. Because it's commendable. They have some say if something happened to LaShonda. He would have some say if something happened to LaShonda if he legally want to adopt the kids. Alright, so Brandon. Right at the back, I really understand LaShonda when it comes to Dre's best friend Brandon. Brandon and Dre been best friends for 20 years. They cool. But sometimes friendship could end. And sometimes friendship could be toxic. And I had a feeling that Brandon was not here for the relationship with LaShonda and Dre off the bat. Now, I don't know if this her specifically, because he sees himself as her, because he said at the end he's like the same way as LaShonda. But I don't know if it's LaShonda directly. I think he don't want Dre to be with anyone at all. Because they've been bros, they hang out a lot. He been single for so long now, he realized that this person's getting engaged, and it's just like, wow, out of nowhere, he's really getting engaged. He's getting married to someone. So it's like a shock value for him. He's like, my friend been single all this long, and now he want to get married. So that's like, I feel like it's like a envious kind of jealousy type that he's bringing up, and that's the vibe I'm getting from him. Like with Brandon, I couldn't really pinpoint why. I just feel angst that why this Brandon is toxic. And you could tell. It's like Brandon was not here for it. He was not supporting the relationship in the beginning. He didn't care for it. Just a woman who took his friend away from him, and he's getting married is a big responsibility. It's not us. It's not always going to be us. So that's that. So I'm get that from Brandon. So he coming with this thing about, oh, you know, he's a DJ and everything. It's always a 50% chance. What will happen if he decides, if you going to cheat? How you gonna handle it? How you gonna move forward for it? So she said, what? If you gonna just cheat, how you gonna handle infidelity? That's what you trying to say? He said, yeah. But I would say, Brandon, why you put it out there? You made it seem like Dre is gonna be out there cheating on him. He haven't cheated yet. He haven't cheated before in the relationship. There was no cheating rumors came about. So why you put out there, oh, his lifestyle, he's a DJ, it's about to be he might cheat. How you handle infidelity if you would forgive him and move on with that if he decide that. I was like, boy, child, Brandon, what is you saying? Boy, bye. Get out of here, my face with that. Get out of here. All right. So they had a little thing. And now, one thing that was brought up, I said I want to talk about, was about this kiss situation with Brandon. That's another thing I felt that I really care for him as much. He mentioned something about her kids. All right. So when they did the fears in a hat, he said something about a conversation they had, and the thing, it was a situation in the past they had. It was a phone conversation about her kids, and he mentioned how one kid is light skinned and she tall, light skinned, and do they have different fathers, and the other one, oh, she just has a good personality or something like that, and she might be darker skinned. So that's implying some way, shape, or form that one is better than the other one. And one is prettier than the other one. And one is ugly. And when you apply that and you talk to somebody kids like that, any woman or any person who have kids will take offense to what you're saying. Now you say it's not malicious, it wasn't taken that way, but at the end of the day, no matter when you were malicious or not, you don't joke about somebody's kids like that. You don't joke about anybody's kids. You don't. And especially talk about somebody's color and how light skinned, how dark skinned, how skinny or how stocky, whatever it is. You talk about a kid's look. If you talk about the kid's look, you talk about the appearances. So you talk about how one is this way without the other one, and one good, this guy good looks, and the other one's good personality. You basically talk about their looks and being colorist in the same way. So in this aspect, I feel for LaShonda. Because you talking about my kids, and you say in the phone conversation, you talking to Dre, and I'm hearing this, how you think I will feel as a mother of these kids? You talk about my kids. And parents, you talk about them. So he's like, oh, I apologize if you say something like that. You only apologize because it make her feel bad. You're not apologizing because what you said you think is wrong. You think what you said was right, and it was no big deal what you said. It's obviously a big deal. Obviously, I don't think Brandon had kids himself, because any person who will hear that will have issue. Now, my issue with what I say about Dre, he didn't take a side, because in this aspect, he didn't. He took a side. He trying to say he's in the middle, but LaShonda's upset because he didn't have her back in the situation about her kids, especially if you go adopt these kids. He talk about the kids you will very well adopting. So if you have a conversation and he talk about, oh, well, boy, if this kid's got different fathers and one look light and she does that, I would say, hold up, boy. We're not having that conversation. We're going to dead that. You is not going to talk about my kids. And if you're going to keep talking about it, we cannot talk right now. He need to dead that. He took a side because he said, oh, well, we boys, we have a conversation and everything. And even the father, when they had that dinner, the father said, oh yeah, you misread what he's saying. And LaShonda got really pissed off by the father not taking her side. Dre didn't take her side, like she felt like she's alone in this. And I was like, wow, why is she had to defend her reason and why she felt upset about somebody talking about her kids' appearances? Like, Come on, father. You supposed to be on her side. Come on, Dre. You supposed to take her side. Cause y'all boys, that's not a ish. That's not a reason to say, oh, she's taking out of proportion because we boys, we men, we talk like this. No, no, you don't. You don't. We don't do that. No, we don't. We don't. All right. So Dre, you dropped the ball for not taking her side in this aspect, and Tracy let you know about that. You dropped the ball for not taking a side because you took a side. You trying to say you didn't take a side, but you took a side. You took the side because we boys. No, you supposed to say that's not my kids. You need to dead that. All right. No talk about no kids. So he said, "Oh, I apologize, I apologize." All this, like you didn't apologize nothing, Brandon. You doing way too much. You doing way too much. You act like you want Dre yourself and not have him with anybody else. That's why I'm making it feel like it to me. I'm not saying all that. I'm not putting that G word out there, but it make it seem like you don't want Dre with nobody else but yourself. All right. So and then we had the conversation with the father, because I was like, okay, yeah. When they did a check-in with Tracy again, she talked about how Dre didn't have her back, and Tracy let Dre know that yes, you need to have took a side and dead that. If you adopt the kids, it would be a love unconditionally. She said you didn't love unconditionally if you let him talk about your kids like that. So no, that's not love unconditionally. That was that. And now with Tracy, she said she had to have a conversation with her father, extends and break down and talk about her conflict and how she handled things, and it might fuel by her childhood, because she said she always been by toxic men and she can't stand toxic men. So with Brandon, it aches her nerve that Brandon is like this. So if Brandon is this factor and she still go, if you go be friends with Brandon, then we don't have to get married. So I said, oh, hold up, I know you don't like Brandon, that's cool, but why you gonna throw away your relationship with this man? Dre is a good man. He's not a bad guy. He is a good man. He just had some things to work on speaking up for himself and taking a stand and being protective in her feelings and being more with her. And she needs to wear things stuff into as well. She needs to work on herself and not always outbursting and everything. So her task was to talk to her father, and his task was to talk to Brandon and say, yo, bro, that's not good, what you said. And her task was to talk to the father. When she would talk to the father, that father was not hearing it. He was cutting her off. He was not happy. He said, listen, I grow my daughter to be tough love, and I don't deal with emotions, so you up here trying to turn feelings to me. It's not happening. I'm not doing this. He was not having it. Dre was trying to have her back to trying to go up for it. The sisters were trying to say something to him. That father was not having it. And he had a drink in his hand. Looked like that boy was drunk. That father was drunk. I said, boy, you could tell the conflict is coming on. The tension between her and father, we could tell why she really have an issue with toxic men, because a lot of the men reminds her of her father. If they had that trait of her father, she would blow up. All right? That was that. And then when Brandon had talked with Dre, Brandon would say, oh, the way how she disrespect her father, we ain't gonna like that. I know you can't marry someone like that. If you're gonna marry someone like that. And so I said, boy, get out of here. Get out of there. Yes, she didn't talk about her father, but her father was not an angel himself, and had to go both ways to really break down a relationship like that. And her father was not making it easy for her to express her feelings and trying to get her thing out there, and she trying to talk to her father calmly, but he make it difficult for you to still stand so strongly about, oh, she disrespect her father, so you can't marry someone like that. I said, wow, okay, whatever, Brandon. So she heard that. So that's what she said. If Brandon is gonna be around, we can't have no wedding, and he not gonna be in my wedding. If he not gonna cut him off, then we don't need to be married. I said, oh, chick, don't let Brandon put too much power in your relationship. So Tracy said, at the end of the day, what is it? She don't like the trust. So what the trust is? She said, I can't have Brandon in my wedding, and he said he was willing to cut Brandon off to have a future with LaShonda. Now her thing is she needs to work on willing to deal with conflict and not being withdrawn away from the conflict, and handle the conflict in a positive and mature manner. If she wanted to do that, then he wanted to do his part as well. So they both agreed to do that. At the blessings, they always say yes, except for Brandon. Brandon said, I can't give you my blessing. I don't know. I can't, you gonna do what you're gonna do. So Dre started to break down. He was crying because it's hard. So LaShonda said, you don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. But he had to take a stand with Brandon and say, yo, we been bros for a long time. We be my brother. but I need to look at my family. I need to look at my family and think of my family at the end of the day, which is his future. So if he go be around, you gotta stop this. Not we gotta part ways, and that was that. But I don't think he would say that much. He's just that his breaking down shows that how much he really loves LaShonda and really cares for this woman, and that the fact that he would let go of his best friend for 20 years, and sometimes they passed the furs. He said that they passed the furs, and sometimes it just stray away. We're in different paths right now. So basically, that's like a implication that their relationship is not gonna be as the same because, or he won't be at the wedding. So we'll see more. Like I said, it cuts off at the end, so I don't know if they went on with the wedding and not. What's the relationship with him and Brandon now? Don't know. But that was Favorite Fiance. It was a good episode. If I missed anything, please put them down in the comment section. And also, like I said, I will put clips of different own clips on my video, so you can watch some of the clips. Alright? So hope y'all enjoy your day, and please be safe out there. Alright? Peace.